cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the Jewish and back for a world of lost sinners was slain. Oh Lord, so I cherish the old rugged cross. Hold on till my trophy on the hurt I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross. Oh, now, and exchange it someday for a crown. Oh, now, on the old rugged cross. So despised by the world as a wondrous attraction to me. For the dear Lamb of God left His glory above. To be reached to dark Calvary. So I cherish the old rugged cross. Till my trophy on the hurt I lay down. I will cling to.
Yes, good afternoon. Good afternoon to all of my viewers. And welcome all to Rebel Radio today. Yes, we are off to a slight delay, but we are on air now. And start with some sad news. The body snatcher, Mikey McCallum. Some younger Jamaicans might not hear about Mikey McCallum, one of Jamaica's most famous boxer. Yes, he died over the weekend, you know. Yes. We, at Rebel Radio, we want to pay our tributes to his family and friends. This was one of the Jamaicans who lifted the flag, put us on the map. Yes, well, you know, politics is in the air, and one of the events, last week the government announced that accountant Dennis Chung will take over as head of the Financial Intelligence Division. Now that division was created to investigate financial crimes. The PNP took issue with that announcement because Dennis made public some public comments challenging the Integrity Commission's report on the Prime Minister's financial irregularities. You know, so he gave the Prime Minister a passing grade. And he is now in charge of the agency that will, which has been mandated to investigate the Prime Minister's case. And therefore the PNP objected to it. You know, boy, I know Dennis for a while, you know. And for him to take up this position in such a controversial situation, where he started his first day at work with under police protection, with a massive demonstration at the National Heroes Circle this morning. The PNP came out and they said that they are not going to stop protests. Now, the appointment is a controversial one, and I think that Dennis should make a decision, because one thing is certain, that the elections are due, say, within 3 months. Now, if the PNP win the election, that his position is gone. So he will serve that position for 3 months, right? No, it is unfortunate, but we are going to show you some clips now of this event. Look at these videos, and we are just giving you an idea of what took place. So
Look,
here we go.
I know some of you might have already seen this floating around, but even if you did, we need to talk about it properly. Welcome to Jamaica in Focus. Today we're looking at a job ad that was quietly rewritten, and a government move that should concern every Jamaican. Something strange just happened in the Jamaican government, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. The job ad for Chief Technical Director of the Financial Investigations Division. That's the FID. Originally said, you must have 12 years of law enforcement experience. 5 of those years at a senior level. That makes sense. The FID investigates fraud, money laundering, and financial crimes. That key requirement, 12 years of law enforcement experience, was quietly removed. Just like that, gone. In a new ad posted just weeks later, the law enforcement experience requirement is gone. Now, you just need managerial experience. Side-by-side job ads show the original version required law enforcement experience, but the updated one, it's gone. That's not speculation. That's documented. Let that sink in. They took a job that protects Jamaica's finances and stripped away the need to understand law enforcement. Let's not forget, Prime Minister Andrew Holness was referred to the FID by the Integrity Commission for Suspicious Financial Declarations. Yes, that's right. The very same FID that will have to investigate him. So the question is the Prime Minister trying to undermine the very agency that's supposed to investigate him? You, my viewers, can judge that for yourself. The agency that is supposed to investigate the PM is now hiring a new director without the required background experience. And now, guess who got the job? Dennis Chung, a chartered accountant, not an investigator, not a prosecutor, not a financial crimes specialist. His background includes roles like Chief Executive Officer of Supreme Venture Services, Project Manager during the Air Jamaica divestment, and General Secretary of the Jamaica Football Federation. Impressive titles, sure, but none of them involve investigating financial crimes, building cases, or working with law enforcement. And here's the kicker. Dennis Chung publicly criticized the Integrity Commission's report on the Prime Minister, questioning its findings and downplaying concerns about Holness's financial dealings. Now, he's set to lead the very agency that should be investigating those concerns. Now, some might ask, what about the current acting head of the agency? Mr. Ordinor Tucker has been with the FID since 2007, mostly as director of the Information Technology Unit. He's been serving as acting director general since August 2024. He's led major digital crime fighting systems like the GoAML platform and has deep experience in cybersecurity and public sector tech. But here's the thing. He doesn't have law enforcement experience either. So neither Chung nor Tucker fits the original law enforcement requirement. But was there even an effort to find someone who did? Now, the government says the process was fair. Finance Minister Fayval Williams defended Dennis Chung's appointment, saying it was based on merit, qualifications, and experience. But even with her reassurance, the facts remain. The key requirement was removed. And no one with law enforcement experience was chosen. In a country dealing with cybercrime, fraud, money laundering, and high-level government corruption, was there really no one qualified with an investigative background? Are they telling us no one with real investigative experience applied? Draw your own conclusions. But the facts? They speak loud. Makes you wonder, though, who else applied for this job? And what made Dennis Chung the top pick? If this raised questions for you, don't scroll past. Comment. Share this video, save it, tag a friend. Let them know what's really going on. Follow at jamaica.in.focus. The facts they bury, the answers we dig up. Thanks for listening, and take care.
Yes. So there you have it. So the PNP objected to Chung's appointment, and they took to the streets this morning. They went to the Ministry of Finance at National Heroes Circle. Let's watch some of those protests, demonstrations this morning. Here we go.
Applied for the job, and they were turned down. And then the job was reapplied, changing the criteria deliberately to fit.
And dear children, and we're going to make our voices be heard this morning in a peaceful way. We refuse to lay down. We're not as PNP or JLP, but as concerned Jamaicans who want the back country here for justice.
Yes.
Morning, everybody.
Why me them go mad out?
Corrupt plus raw. Corrupt without
Nation, come back here again. To the media.
Eternal and sovereign God, we come before you today. The God of righteousness.
Come out today. What, you mean we don't have the right to peaceful protest anymore? Is he looking confrontation? Well, if that is what it is with my Harvard stick, I'm here.
With your Harvard stick, you're down today.
I'm right. I'm here to demonstrate. You're not fool with my rights. Under that.
All right.
Additionally, saying all labor rights must come out today. What, you mean we don't have the right to peaceful protest anymore? Is he looking confrontation? Well, if that is what it is with my Harvard stick, I'm here.
With your Harvard stick, you're down today.
I'm right. I'm here to demonstrate. You're not going to fool with my rights. Under that.
All right, Uncle John.
We're alive and what you're saying.
Sir Davis.
So please, keep the language clear.
Anything we are said, boss.
Mr. Paul, well morning.
So, sir,
What you want to tell Dennis Chung this morning?
Dennis just need to do what is right. Just what is right. And do not accept it, stuff. That's all.
But there's an argument that probably this is a better salary than what he was getting at JFF.
Yeah, but his reputation must be more important than this.
His reputation.
It's not worth it. It's nothing that can be worth it.
What you thought of the Prime Minister's utterances last night?
I think it's irresponsible.
You believe it's a dangerous day in our democracy?
We are here to see, as you can see,
We're looking about to all the most
You come in peace today.
vibrant speakers.
All right, Sir
To
Paul.
the issue at hand.
That the people can have trust and confidence in that can rescue Jamaica from the corruption and the mire of bad governance in which Jamaica is now enmeshed. Only the People's National Party can do that under my leadership, and I plan to deliver that for the people of Jamaica so we can move forward and address the very real issues that our people are facing. Issues of the cost of living and the struggle for survival. The poor nutrition represented by the food insecurity of 55% of our people. The school system failing our students. Where over 30% of our students leave primary school illiterate. Unable to do basic arithmetic. And the housing.
We're gathered here today for a worthy cause. I want to say up front that we come in peace. We are an orderly party.
Well, there you have it. There you have it. Massive demonstrations. And as I said, Dennis can't be comfortable. And, you know, based on the nature of that job, it is a serious job. And is not a job that where the older should be facing so much controversy. Let us see what is going to happen. This is Rebel Radio. Let us go for a break.
Drink come pleaser. Never gonna tease her. Bang bang. You don't know it's a rubber dub health tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools, hardware and supplies is holding up big week this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, hardware and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica eyes were built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we rise, together we climb. JPS Jamaica, together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. Yes, and as I say, we are now in the political season in Jamaica, and lots of things are happening. Yes, we have with us public commentator, journalist Lloyd Dagelar, and we are going to talk about some public issues now. Good afternoon, Lloyd.
Good afternoon, Desmond. Hope you're doing well, and hello to your listeners.
Yes, sir. I think I'm doing well. I'm supposed to be. Yes.
Okay, very good, very good.
Yes. So, that young lady who was charged with what it was again. But anyway, following that demonstration in Spanish Town there earlier this year, when they killed one of the dons, the police.
Yes.
Yes. I saw where she pleaded guilty and was fined in the court. What is the latest on that?
Well, the latest is that her lawyer advised her to plead guilty to malicious communication, and she pleaded guilty. And it took 1 month before she went back to court for sentencing. And the judge decided that she was going to fine her $900,000 or 4 months in prison, right? So you either pay $900,000 or you spend 4 months in prison. Well, she has been in lockup since January. It was in January that she was locked up. So 4 months have expired. But as far as I know, and if we weren't having this conversation, I was going to personally go to where she's locked up to find out if she has been released. But I believe that they are doing a little calculation because she has been in there 4 months already, and $900,000 for a poor person is a lot of money. So she could be. What's that?
Nearly $1 million that.
Well, let me just tell you that the fine for malicious communication is a lot of money. It's over. You can be fined up to $4 million or imprisoned for up to 15 years. Right? They said that the first offense, penalties of fine not $1 million or imprisonment and not exceeding 3 years. So that is how it is. This malicious communication under the Cyber Crimes Act can be very expensive. So she was fined $900,000 or 4 months. As I said, I know she's not a rich person. So she has served 4 months. She has spent 4 months in lockup. So she should be out very shortly if she has not already been out. But this is a very serious matter, Desmond, that we the people have to really pay very close attention to what happened to this young lady, because what happened to her can happen to us as well. She is 22 years old. She has a 2-year-old child, and she released a social media thing about when the police killed the Don from the area. Laban, his name is Othniel Laban. Othniel Thickman Laban, they call him, from Spanish Town. They killed him in Kingston. He was in some car accident, and the next thing you hear, there was a shootout, etc., and he was killed. That was on the 22nd. And by the next morning, the whole of Spanish Town was locked down. Right? People come outside and, there was some burning and all that kind of stuff. But the people were protesting. Now, this young lady, Dana Warren, support for what was happening in Spanish Town in terms of the protests against the killing, because everybody saw it as an extrajudicial killing, not a shootout as the police were claiming. And we know that extrajudicial killing in Jamaica is a big, big issue, even though the government and the police want to deny it. But we, the people, know that this is a big fact, and the people protest a lot when this thing happened. But anyway, almost the same night that the policeman was killed was when when Laban was killed. She made her social media protest, and she supported the protest, against the killing. And within 2 days, she was arrested and so on. She was not part of the demonstration.
Lydie, do you recall what she actually said? What's...
I have tried my best to see what he said, and they are saying that he threatened the police. Me no see nothing inside there about no threatening to the police. There is, and nobody, not even her lawyer, which is a deficiency in my opinion, has been able to break neither the court nor the prosecution nor the lawyer in her behalf has been able to say, well, these are the words she used, which are definitely a threat to the police. Nobody has been able to establish that. And I have gone online, a little cussing and thing, but I don't see any threat. She was not, she not part of a gang or anything like that. She's just a regular resident in the area, and and so on, and supporting supporting people who are opposed to police extrajudicial killings. So therefore, that is a very serious deficiency in terms of what has happened to this lady. And I am very opposed to the approach taken by the attorney as well, in that he should have, in my opinion, he should have tried to get bail for her, and having got bail, he should have not made her plead guilty. He should have said not guilty, and he should have taken the thing to court and force the prosecution to prove that she said something threatening to the police. What was the nature of this threat? Specifically, what was the threat? She's not a gang member. She's not, she wasn't out there doing anything. So what it means then is that you and I and the rest of us Jamaicans, if we talk Jamaican language and we express ourselves against police extrajudicial killings or anything that is happening to us in an oppressive kind of way, then we can be charged for malicious communication, and what happened to Dana Warren can happen to us as well. And this is not right. We have freedom of expression. We have freedom of speech in this country. And we need to have a discussion about that.
The other thing that has surfaced in this case is the deficiency in the justice system, in that in Jamaica, if you are charged with an offense and you are not able to afford defense lawyers, you are at greater risk than those who are charged with similar offenses but are able to afford defense lawyers. For example, if I am charged with an offense and I can afford 2 QCs, you who have to rely on legal aid lawyer, your case, my case and your case are, in other words, how justice is delivered. I am going to receive more justice than you. Because
you're making a very important point.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I can afford to employ lawyers. And that is why I say that justice is for sale in Jamaica.
Well, you're making a very important point there, because I don't have the details. I've met with Dana Warren before. I went to visit her while she was in lockup, and I asked her, about the lawyer that she has, and she said, well, the lawyer was recommended by the police, that when she was locked up, they are the ones who recommend this lawyer. Now, I don't know if it's a legal aid lawyer. I don't know what was the arrangements, etc. But the wording that I'm seeing coming from the lawyer in regard to her situation, it's like he decided from the very beginning that she was guilty, right? And so he decided, and and so he had her plead guilty and so on. So I don't think she had a quality lawyer to defend her, and I don't know whether it was legal aid or what was the arrangement. I know she's not a middle class person. She doesn't have any money, etc., etc. So yes, this thing was a big issue. And I will also say personally that when she went to the trial or the trial, I thought it was going to be a trial. I had a conversation with the lawyer as well, and I told him that I disagreed with the approach that he was taking, that he should not have had her plead guilty. And he was talking some foolishness to me about what is Babylon. And I said, what does that mean? That Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and all these singers who cuss out Babylon, what are they, criminals? They should have been locked up. That is really nonsense. And how we Jamaican talk doesn't mean that anything we say, you're going to lock us up for malicious communication. It doesn't work like that. So let's have a talk. And so on. So that is a big issue where legal representation for her was concerned. And I was prepared to try and get her another lawyer to represent her if I could, if she had allowed me, but he had influence over her, and she agreed with him, telling her that she must plead guilty. So, as I'm saying, freedom of speech is under threat. And we need to have a discussion about what our rights, where freedom of speech is, and how we express ourselves. Because that's very important, because a lot of music and the way people sing and all that kind of thing, a lot of it could be considered to be malicious, So we need to have a very serious discussion about this act called malicious communication. What really is it? What are the objectives? And how can it be used to abuse our rights to freedom of speech, etc., etc.? It's a big issue.
Well, the other thing that I don't know. Well, let me put it this way. The ordinary Jamaican, the way how justice is administered, and the way in dealing with the security forces, the ordinary Jamaican, he or she is treated differently from middle class, upper class Jamaicans. The security forces, the police, they deal with ordinary people differently from the way how they deal with Mr. Matalan or Mr. Jagai. Because
absolutely.
Yeah, because I am certain if it was somebody of means, somebody from the middle class, she would not be treated that way. She would not.
Well, I mean, Desmond, look at it this way, right? There was Jamaicans for Justice had a protest, some weeks ago against police killings.
Yes.
And the Prime Minister and the police commissioner, he in particular said that the protest was vilification of the police, right? And around the same time, the Prime Minister was commending the police for the reduction in crimes, in killings. But the reduction in killings was associated with increased police killings. And the Prime Minister has been speaking recently, right? And he's beating his chest and America has reduced certain, certain kinds of ratings for Jamaica where crime is concerned. But the Prime Minister does not say that the reduction in killings and crimes is because we are creating more jobs, because we are improving the rate of pay, we're building houses, we're improving people's lives. No, he never said that. All he said is that it is because we are spending more money on the police and we are increasing the efficiency of the police. So therefore, the reduction in crime has nothing to do with the increased and better living conditions of the people. Now that is something that we really need to talk about. So what it means is that if the police go around and killing more people than before, then it means that is how we are reducing crime. And the police extrajudicial killings that people are concerned about. So this is a very, very serious issue in terms of how the police is treated here by the government, by middle class people, and middle class people are not going to be cussing out the police because they are going to say killing people and reducing crime is good for tourism and will make lots and lots of money. Those are some of the class issues that are arising where this thing is concerned. And as we know very well that people can be beaten and abused and so on for expressing themselves out there on the street. We have seen it. And this is why, again, I'm saying that we need to have a discussion about this kind of thing. Because if this thing goes on, that, they don't like how you speak and you can't criticize, you can go there and have a protest. They were even going to have a counter demonstration against Jamaicans for Justice. That is what they were encouraging and organizing, a counter demonstration against that. Yeah. And nobody is talking about police extrajudicial killings. The America is now praising the government because they have reduced crime. But America is not talking about the increase in police extrajudicial killing. So that is something that we can have a discussion about. And if that is the road that we are going to go down to solve crime, then all of us are threatened because it gives the police certain powers, extrajudicial powers, to do what it is that they want. And extrajudicial killings in Jamaica is a policy of state. It has been going on for decades, from government to government to government. And it's not me once saying that the present Prime Minister said that a couple years ago when he was on a platform with Peter Phillips, who was also Minister of National Security under the PNP government at one point. He said that police killings have been going on from government to government and he was going to put a stop to it. Well, he hasn't put a stop to it. And if we go back into history, we remember Alexander Bustamante told the police that when you go down to Coral Gardens, bring back all Rasta, dead or alive. That is what he told the police. And it has been going on. Prime Ministers telling police, shoot to kill, don't ask questions, don't ask a question, don't measure the distance between you and them, etc., etc. It has been going on. Death squads that have been going on. States of the
other thing
the state of emergency.
That young man who was beaten to death at
Mario Dean.
Yes. If you remember, he was he was arrested for a ganja spliff, That was his...
for a ganja spliff, yes. Can you imagine?
And his bail, the bail bond was being prepared when it was said that he made a remark that him don't like police. And they aborted the bail bond and let him stay in the cell. And he was beaten to death. Well, the last, I think it's a week before last, I saw the court found the policemen involved in that. Finally, after 10 years or 12 years. Yeah, but
absolutely.
Let me remind my listeners.
Yes,
let me remind my listeners and viewers that the attitude of the security forces towards poor people in Jamaica is something that has been wretched, intolerable. You will remember that insane man, young man, who was beaten by soldiers in Waterhouse. You remember?
Absolutely.
Yes, beaten to death.
Yeah, man.
Yes. No one was.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no one was charged for that, you know. No one was charged for that.
But there's one. Let me make one little point about Mario Dean, right?
Yes.
Mario Dean was charged for having a little ganja spliff, a smoke ganja, right?
Yes.
But guess what? You know that, and so ganja smoking is illegal, right?
Yeah.
So do you know that if you smoke cigarette, I don't know if you smoke cigarette, but when you buy a box of cigarette, you see the boxes on the road, it's a cigarette kill. It can cause cancer. It can do all kinds of things, and it is legal. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
You are buying, people are out there buying cigarettes, and the box of it says, don't smoke, it can kill you, it can give you cancer, etc. Nobody claims that a ganja spliff causes cancer or can kill you. Nobody says that.
No.
And it's not legal. So the police lock you up and then carry you, go to police lockup, and because you say you don't like police, you get beaten and killed inside there. What kind of system are we living under? What kind of system is this?
This is one of the issues that we have to talk about, and also we want to know what the government, for example, it is election time now. The parties are going around seeking vote. We want to hear what are they going to do to address the rights of people in the country. When are they going to put something in place to prevent extrajudicial
as you know,
killings?
There's one. They have millions of dollars. They have been supported by the private sector. So the discussions will be done their way. And they will set up their public meetings, pay a lot of money, give out jersey that is either green or orange or whatever it is, and so on. But the discussion that you and I are having now is never going to be part of that platform that they're going to be standing up on and have a conversation. So I think it is very important that we the people, and this is an example of the kind of discussion that we the people need to have to make the politicians know that they're not respecting our rights, they're not respecting freedom of speech, they're not taking care of the needs of the children and the health care and that kind of thing. So my organization, as I've said before, whether you agree or not, is that we are going to be calling for a boycott of the elections because it is not the two political parties are not discussing what the people want to hear. They are discussing what they want to talk about. They have their debate in Parliament, and if you look at the debate, the budget debate that took place, there's really no significant difference between the two sides. None whatsoever. And so therefore, we are not going to be able to express ourselves and say what we want and so on and so forth. This is a very, very serious issue. And so therefore, we have to find a way to send a message to the two political parties. Extrajudicial killings is one of them we're not going to tolerate. Corruption is not one of the things that we want to tolerate. Education and we want free education for the children because a lot of them can't afford the food, the clothes, the books, etc., etc. And healthcare system is in bad condition as well. The people want land to plant and to grow their crops and to live and to be able to build their houses. And if you go and build a little house and say you capture the land and then come and tear down the house and tear it down, etc. No, man, this thing has to stop. Land in Jamaica is all of the land here is captured land. This is land that was captured from the Tainos and the Arawaks, and now we have land that is called Crown land. Right? It's the English colonial master turning over the land to the colonial government afterwards, new colonial government. So we have so many issues that we need to talk about. And I really commend your program for the kind of discussion that we are having, because this is what is needed. And we just have to keep on talking, and trying to understand that we have to put some serious challenges to the political system and the politicians. Otherwise, they're not going to pay us any attention. They're not going to pay us any mind whatsoever.
Yes.
Well, we have to speak up.
Yes,
and Dana Warren, what happened to she is an example of what is going on and what people are suffering.
Yes, and we sincerely hope that the people will change their attitude towards the politics also, because we must stop accept clapping and shouting and praising when they make announcements. And when, for example, during this time, at this time, a lot of promises are being made, and gifts are, they are presenting gifts, whether it be $5,000 or free lunches and all those things. We want the voters to understand that we want more than that. We don't. That is not what we want. As you pointed out, we want to know what is going to be done about our health system, education. When are we going to get water? When are they going to fix the roads? And when are they going to make land accessible to the people? These are the real issues that affect the lives of the people. Well,
absolutely.
Yeah. We have to, as you know, we have to continue this discussion on this platform. We have exhausted the time for today, but let us say to be continued.
Yeah, man, I appreciate being there. And I just want to say one final thing. Remember the last election, 60% of people did not vote. So therefore, a lot of the people don't really see no difference between the two political parties, and they don't see anybody that is offering an alternative. So we the people have to build an alternative movement. It's very necessary.
Okay. Thank you very much, Lady. And
yes, thank you very much, Desmond, for having me.
Yes, to be continued. That is journalist and public commentator Lloyd Dagelard. They were talking about some current issues. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can it when me drink and please her. Never gonna tease her. Boom bang. You don't know so rubber dub eight tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long, and strong, and just tune into Rubber Dub.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica eyes were built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end.
Okay, welcome back to Rebel Radio. Last week we started a discussion on what was happening to the people in the constituencies around Jamaica. We started out over in West Portland, and we are going to continue that discussion there this afternoon. We have two residents, Mr. George Brown and Mr. Keith Duncan. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Richards.
Yes, sir.
Desmond, excuse me, you called and I'm in a meeting, so I'm not sure, and I'm not sure which residents you're talking about that I'm a resident of. So I don't know, maybe your producer should have called.
Who is this? This is not Mr. Keith Duncan? Huh?
No, that doesn't sound like Mr. Duncan.
You have the wrong Keith Duncan.
Oh, I just realized what happened. Well, it's okay, Keith. All right. It's the wrong one. Yeah. Mr. Brown, hold it there for me. Yeah, that is the banker. That is JMB Keith Duncan. Yes. That's wrong Keith Duncan there. Yes, that was an error. Yes, that is what happened when you have too many people with the same name. Yes. But we are trying to reach Mr. Keith Duncan from West Portland. I don't know. We don't seem to be getting him at all. Not getting him. But we have with us Mr. George Brown. And last week we started the discussion with Mr. Brown and Mr. Duncan about what was happening in West Portland. So, Mr. Brown, we want to continue that discussion which we started. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you, sir.
Okay, yes. And I recall last week when we spoke, is that the condition in the constituency was one that was way below what was expected.
Yes, sir.
Yes. For example, as you pointed out, the road conditions are bad.
Very, very bad.
Yes. The farmers are having a hard time. The people in the constituency, you told us, are having a very hard time. Now, I want to ask you, the nearest school, tell me about the school in West Portland. Which high school is in West Portland?
There's one high school in West Portland, which is known as the Buffy High School. Mm-hmm. That's the only high school that is situated in West Portland. Okay. We have many primary schools.
Yeah.
We have many primary schools and early childhood institutions, which is ECI, or we call them basic schools within the parish.
Okay.
But it's only one high school we now have in West Portland.
Okay, all right. And as far as you know, that the students are attending. In other words, the school is the students are attending the schools.
Yes, we have students attending the school, but you know, the situation might occur where there is no, because of lack of transportation, or there might be lack of financial resources. Because most persons will understand that, especially when it comes to West Portland, even though Portland is a parish of agriculture produce, but things are not so bad in that area for them now. And I can say that it is the road. The road has turned off a lot of persons who will not be able to produce as they want to. So students have a lot of issues when it comes on to getting the financial resources to attend school. Even though we have the part program that is provided for them at the school, but still, sometimes when these students come to school, they don't come with even a nutritious breakfast. They are not able to get that at home. So the only thing that they can depend on is lunch at school, and that's it for the day for them. It is really heartrending that this is really occurring. And I'm sure it's not only in West Portland, it occurs in other places.
Yes, sir.
And I can recall some time ago, I did a visit as a community person, one who believes in volunteering. I have been to places where, you know, there's no other option than to cry, because the situation that these persons are living, you wonder if human beings do live in situation like this. So it's a struggle for many persons, I can tell you. But we just need to make that a special effort to do what we can do for especially the poor and the vulnerable, the less vulnerable, or less vulnerable people that are in need.
Yes, yes. Now, tell me something, Mr. Brown, on the question of roads. Have you seen any work? Any work has started to repair roads in West Portland?
I have seen some repairs to like roads that are in close proximity to the various communities. But for example, the outer communities, the communities that are far, so, you know, we call them rural areas. Boy, these roads are really bad. I actually went to this district known as, I'm trying to remember the name, but I was there. That's going Shrewsbury, Fruitfulville area, and these roads actually need repair. So it's the roads are not up to the standard that I would have expected. I've been told about the Sparks program, or the Sparks Road Improvement Program, but to be honest, I'm not seeing it taking place in the parish. So I'm not sure if it is happening.
Okay.
But the roads are bad. The roads are really bad.
Yes.
The roads are really bad.
Yes. And I think last week when we spoke to, if it wasn't you, it was either Mr. Duncan or the candidate, the situation with the housing stock in the constituency. It was pointed out that no housing scheme has been, developed or built in the constituency by the incumbent member of parliament, and people are having challenges with housing.
Right, yeah. Since the member of parliament that has been power now for almost 18 years, there's been no new housing development. We have in West Portland, we have, I would say, 3 housing schemes, 1 in Oak Bay and 2 in Buff Bay. The one in Buff Bay is what you call one of those long-term housing schemes. So the new one is what is known as the Woodstock housing scheme, and that was developed many years ago. But from that, we have no new development when it comes down to housing scheme.
You have been living in that constituency how long now, Mr. Brown?
I have been living in this constituency for 53 years now. 53 years.
No. So you have tell me something. That constituency at one time it was represented by the late Sam Lawrence.
No, Sam Lawrence represents East Portland.
Oh, it was East Portland. Okay.
Yeah, this constituency was represented by the former Errol Jiggs Ennis. and it is now represented by the Minister Darrell Paz.
Yes, yes, yes. And when it comes on to land ownership in West Portland, how is that? Is it people have access to land? In other words, tell me something about the ownership of land in West Portland.
Well, with regards to the ownership of land, I am not fully cognizant that, persons are really the true owner of their various lands. So I could not really divulge into that aspect. But I'm aware that there were some lands that were issued recently, but that actually, the less fortunate farmers, we would have expected that they would have got these lands, but it was actually some business people who actually got these lands. Influential people who already has it. So the less fortunate, I don't want to say fortunate, but persons who were the lower class of farmers actually did not utilize or get any of these land. So there's a cry now from persons who are crying foul, but that is another story.
Yes, sir. Okay. So, Mr. Brown, from your perspective, what are the areas that you think needs development in West Portland? Identify some of the areas that you think should be developed in order to make life better for the people.
Well, I am looking at, there is there's a swamp in Orange Bay where it used to be a rice land. Rice used to be planted there. That land can be developed into even some sort of agriculture, areas, whether agriculture, ecotourism, or some maybe entertainment, maybe a small housing scheme. but that area can be developed because we have enough land in Portland that can also be developed into income generating for the parish and also to assist persons from migrating from the parish into other parishes or into Kingston. There is a Stedman land, we call it Stedman land in Buff Bay, that is actually entering into Buff Bay. There's a vast amount of land that also can be utilized, and that can be utilized for any special development. Up to yesterday, somebody said to me that it could become some sort of tourist attraction, tourism development. So that can happen. Also, the person even said to me that we could also use it for entertainment. That can be one of those entertainment centers where any sort of entertainment you can go there to, to have your entertainment. It's a one-stop entertainment package for anybody that would want to come to Portland. Also, I was told that even a call center could have been built in that area, whether it's the swampy area or whether it's the Stedman property. But a call center could have been developed whereby when you build a call center, you're thinking about employing at least between 200 to 300 persons. So at least those persons would not be thinking of leaving West Portland to go to other areas to work. They would have had the call center very close by where they can either walk to or take a taxi to that location. And agriculture also can be a part of it also, where some of these lands, lands, can be utilized for agricultural purposes. So agricultural purposes, entertainment purposes, call center purposes, ecotourism purposes. These are some of the things that cannot move in the community to enhance.
Hold it there for me. Hold it there for me.
Okay.
Let me try and get, hold a second, just hold it. I'm going to try and get I see Mr. Keith Duncan calling. Let me try and get him back. Let me try. Yes. Yes, sir. Trying to get him. Oh, yeah, get him. Mr. Duncan.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes, sir. We're trying to.
Good afternoon, Mr. Duncan.
Good afternoon. Who that? Job, bro?
Yes, sir.
Oh, glad to have you on the program, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
We're trying to get you from 3 o'clock, man.
Hey, I'm at my phone now ring. I'm there right at the phone.
I don't know why. We're trying. Yes. But I was asking Mr. Brown that, what are some of the areas in West Portland that he believes that can be developed in order to make the life of the people there better? What are some of the areas you think can be developed in order to make it better for the people?
All right. You see, we have a place out of Spring Garden called Nature Way.
Mm-hmm.
That's very nice place to develop. We used to have a crystal spring up by Spring Garden too.
Yes.
Some aspect of that closed down. All right. We used to have none such stadium. That closed down.
None such
cave.
Okay.
Cave.
Yes.
We have a lot, man. We have a lot. Lot in Portland. We have a bicycle.
May I, Mr. Duncan?
Yeah.
We used to have Busso Festival.
Right.
That is no longer. That's
Jerk Festival.
Yeah.
The Pan Jerk Festival. We used to have Jerk Festival every July.
And also, you mentioned about Nature's Way. Nature's Way could have been an ecotourism area also.
Exactly.
As you rightly mentioned, there are many lands in Portland, so Desmond, that can be utilized for economic generating for the citizens of the constituency. You have a piece of land going to Craig Mill, where Phil Construction Company used to use that to store their asphalt and materials and so on. So even that can be used as a entertainment era also, or an amusement era, like where children and so can go and enjoy themselves. Once an investor look at the place and said, okay, I can develop this place into an amusement where children and elderly and all citizens of the constituency can go there and enjoy themselves. Portland has the opportunity for development, but we just need some serious investors and we need some serious individuals who are thinking about helping the constituency and pushing it to the fullest. If we can get some serious persons, believe you me, Portland can be a place that everybody wants to come to.
Also, Mr. Brown, I'm going to explain to some to him. You see where the dump is, the buffet dump is?
Yes, I did mention that. Stedman going down, yeah.
It's one of the best places we have for development, and then taking it dump. In my youth days, when we used to go there with my girlfriend then, we know what left down there, so. Don't have where the dump is. Because you have a pan down there too, a big pan. We service Artisan Windsor, right back to Dover. And we have a seaside, nice man. Right, the pan come right back to Buckby River.
Okay.
Up in the Blue Mountain area. When we used to do fixed pipe in that area, and you book a tourist, and you speak to he or she, then you can tell us the best thing ever see in the hills.
Yeah, the scenery is good. Tourists tend to love it, but again, the road is a deterrent to them, So even if you want to go there, the road is so bad, you have to think again. Airbnb Many people are actually utilizing the house for Airbnb. That's also another income generating for the citizen. You and I, once we have an house here, persons are not looking the hotel, the posh hotel, the all inclusive. They want the natural beauty of the parish. So they are willing to spend money to come and enjoy the beauty of the parish. So these are some of the creative ways that we can make money for the constituency. But as I said, we need serious investors and serious partners who are thinking about development, not persons who are thinking about themselves and themselves only.
Yeah. Both of you, hold it. Oh, I want both of you to just hold it. We are going to take a break. This is Rebel Radio. Let's go for a break.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagley Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can you quit me drink and please never gonna tease her. Boom bang. You don't know so rubber dub eight tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools, hardware, and supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring, and more. At Tools, hardware, and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica eyes were built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we rise, together we climb. JPS Jamaica, together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end.
Welcome back. Yes, and we are talking to two citizens from West Portland, Mr. George Brown and Mr. Keith Duncan. Yes, and we are looking at what must be done to improve lives in the constituency. And as it relates to the young people in the constituency, what are the young people in the constituency? What are they saying? And what are they doing?
Well, as for me, the young people are trying to educate themselves. Go to school, go high school, go college. When they finish, they have to head somewhere else. And that is not good for us. I have to do the amount of recommendation we have to give people for that tomorrow work. It's not good for us. And they are talking about it.
Yes.
I hear a young person from the other side of the aisle tell me at my house. They don't know what this man do to them here. Them tell us, but them afraid to talk. The parish are meltdown. The people them are left and go somewhere to go work where them can get work. Young people them,
Yes, sir.
When you have students leaving from primary school, attending high school, and they can't even spell their name, you wonder where we are heading to.
Yes.
So the high school now has to go back to a specialized program, pathway 1, 2, and 3, to assist them in helping them to can spell their names, know the vowels and the letters, and so on. So by the time they are to reach 5th form or 6th form, some of them can barely achieve what they want to achieve in life. So you find that most of them will end up leaving high school with nothing at all. And when they do leave high school, they end up on the road. Either they become a taxi driver or looking something easy. They're not willing to be mason, carpenter. We have the art school that is there, but I personally would say it's underutilized because not many persons are going there. Because the concern for them is that you cannot teach a hungry man a skill. Because when a hungry man is hungry, he's not going to learn anything. So he's not going to go to an art school and learn. Even though the government has said that they will be paid a stipend so that they can get something to eat. But they have so many other important issues out there. So their concentration is not at an art school or anything like that. And then you find that they will end up being a nuisance to the community. So you end up that the community is not going to be safe because of these people. So even if we can provide the infrastructure where even odd jobs, even some little jobs that doesn't really require any subjects. If these persons can say, well, at least I have this job, a 9 to 5, I can work, look after myself, look after my family and so on. That would be a plus, but where is it? There are so many lands also in Craigmill that are underutilized. These lands can be, whether it's sold or whether it's given out, like a land lease project, where these land people who want to do farming can go into farming, or it's a cry for the constituency, Mr. Richards. I don't know, as I said, but we just need somebody with a will, somebody who will push to ensure that the citizens benefit from whatever that is there. When a community or a constituency or a parish is safe, then I am going to be safe. But if it's not safe, if you have pure hungry people, if you have pure people who are in need or wants, I am not going to be safe because I am going to be looked at as the one with the money, and they know my life is going to be in danger because what? And hungry man is an hungry man, and an hungry man will kill to survive.
Yes.
So these are some of the people. That's why we have to take care of our brothers or the less fortunate to prevent this crime from escalating or going on.
Okay.
Mr. Brown said
opportunity for vast development in the parish, but who is going to make that call? Who is going to ring that bell and say, okay, this is what we want, this is how we are going to move forward?
Okay. Well, gentlemen, I tell you what, we have to leave it there for today because we have exhausted our time. But let us say to be continued. We are going to come back again and, because it is important for us to talk about these issues because these are the issues that really affect the lives of the people. So I want to thank both of you. I want to thank both of you for your time today.
And
Okay,
thank you
sir,
very
thank
much
you.
for allowing us that opportunity.
Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you very much. That was Mr. George Brown and Mr. Keith Duncan, two residents from West Portland. And we were talking about the situation in West Portland, what can be done to really develop the communities and make life easier for the people. It is really an issue because what really lives in rural Jamaica is very, very tough. Very tough. Not easy at all. The people in these communities, they are having it hard. And you don't get they don't get the attention of the members of parliament. No. When it is election time, they are busy visiting your house, making promises. What is going to be done? And then after election, nothing is done.
5, 6,
right?
1.
You don't, the people are left on their own. Yes. And, you know, as a result of that, I can tell you that the life of the people, as I say, in these communities, you know, very, very tough. It is very difficult for people in rural Jamaica. Very, very difficult. The road conditions, the water, access to health, all those issues are issues that really face the people daily. And they don't get the attention. No, they don't get the attention that they, from their representative at all. They don't. They don't get it. Like I said, you will find them coming around now and making the promises what is going to be done. And after election, you don't see them. Yes, you don't see them again. Until election time again. That is when they'll come around and, boy, it is just really tough. That is one of the things that I am trying to urge the voters now to put their cards on the table right now. Yes. That is what I would like them to do. Put their cards on the table right now and get the members of parliament to, you know, give some attention or to find out from them what is going to be done to address these issues. Yes, what is going to be done? We'd like to know. We do just don't want you to come around and you know, make promises and tell us what what is going to be done now. Yes, what they are going to do. We want to hear, the people want to know how they are going to get medical supplies. What is going to be done to improve the education system? Yes, these are issues faced by the people. As I indicated at the start of the program that we have lost one of our heroes, talking about the former boxing world champion Mike McCallum. Yes, died over the weekend. Yes, we are going to show you now a video of the achievements of Mikey McCallum. Yes, Mike was one of those giants, you know, and I remember in the 80s there how Mike was shining. Yes, and he really, really did well. Okay, want you to watch this video now.
Mike McCallum, famously known as the Body Snatcher, wasn't just a boxer. He was a master technician, a 3-division world champion, and Jamaica's first ever world boxing champion. His ability to break down opponents with surgical body punches earned him a reputation as one of the most feared fighters of his era. He held titles in junior middleweight, middleweight, and light heavyweight, all while maintaining the incredible feat of never being knocked out in his professional career. On May 29, 2025, at age 68, McCallum tragically passed away. Reports indicate he fell ill while driving to the gym in Las Vegas, pulling over before being found unresponsive. The boxing world mourns the loss of a fighter whose precision, resilience, and mastery set him apart. Achievements that speak for themselves. McCallum dominated the boxing scene for years. First Jamaican world champion, 1984. 3-division world title holder. Never knocked out in his professional career. Inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame, 2003. Ranked among the best middleweights of all time. 7-time RJR Gleaner Sportsman of the Year. His name belongs among the greatest, and yet, despite his incredible impact on sports, Jamaica's government never officially honored him. For all his brilliance, McCallum never received a national award like the Order of Jamaica, an omission that now feels painfully glaring. The tributes are pouring in, but he can't hear them because Jamaica waited too long. Mike McCallum didn't need a medal to prove his greatness, but giving legends their flowers while they can appreciate them is how a country shows respect for its icons. Now, the question lingers. How many more heroes will Jamaica overlook until it's too late? Rest well, Body Snatcher. Your impact is untouchable, and your legacy will never fade.
Okay, here you have it. Our great champion, Mikey McCallum. And unfortunately, he was not honored. He wasn't given a national award. But as I said, he performed well. Yes, he performed. Mr. Simit.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
All right, hold it there for me. Yes, so what is happening in Myersville? What is happening in St. Elizabeth? We are talking to the PNP councillor for the Myersville division, Mr. Leighton Smith. What is happening in St. Elizabeth, Mr. Smith?
Nothing at all. The people are just waiting for the date to be called for us to vote out this wicked and uncaring government, because right now there's absolutely nothing happening within this constituency.
Nothing.
Nothing at all. I saw this morning where the MP put up on social media is just patching out some road. That's all they are doing. Going here and patching 2 and 3 potholes here and there, and nothing else. Farmers are suffering. Right now we are in a drought, and not even a load of water we can get through rather. I have collected names from me over 2-3 months now to give to some farmers. And to date, not even one load have been delivered. Fertilizer is the same old thing. And down with the road, they are just passing out some road, as I said, as a member of parliament put up on social media. Nothing is happening.
No, that is unbelievable. It is unbelievable, Mr. Smith. I just can't believe that.
Nothing. To date, I suppose I tell that to date, some people have not yet received not a word sent, not a sheet of zinc since burial. Almost an year, 11 months now. Tomorrow is 11 months since burial. And some persons roof have not been replaced. No, some persons still waiting to hear back from Minister of Labour and Social Security. They have done the investigation and nothing else. Some persons have not been even being investigated to date. So nothing is really happening. Nothing whatsoever is happening in Southeast Elizabeth.
No, sir. It is totally unbelievable, Mr. Smith. I can't believe that what you are telling me here. It is no. So the farmers are. Tell me something. I was told I didn't get a chance to talk to my farmers down there, but I was told that, for example, that pepper, there was a glut, and they had to be dumping peppers.
Yes, and still doing that. Not pepper alone. Right now, tomato going to the dogs. Nobody wanted tomato. Nobody wanted tomato now. Tomato is
But the Ministry of Agriculture had indicated that they were finding some market for tomatoes and rather would help to the farmers. Nothing.
Yeah, man. Today when I spoke to Rada personnel. Hold up.
Yes, we're talking to Mr. Leighton Smith, the councillor for the Myersville Division in St. Elizabeth. And he's saying that nothing is happening in his area. It is totally unbelievable that, as he pointed out, that people in the constituency whose houses were damaged by burial, and to date they have not received any assistance. Farmers, this is the bread basket parish represented by this is where the Minister of Agriculture, that his constituency is also in St. Elizabeth. Just can't understand, what is happening to the people. But it is what it is. We're just having some phone issues with Councillor Smith there. I don't know what you have to. Hello? Hello, Councillor? Yes, we had some phone issues there with the councillor. But, that is what I was saying earlier. When you talk to the people in rural Jamaica, right? And I want it to be known that this is not the first time. What I am talking about is not, it is not the first time this is happening, right? The people in rural Jamaica, they are neglected. Yes, their story is worse than the people in urban Jamaica, right? No, you're not you're not hearing about these things on the radio. You're not reading about them in the newspapers. You only hear, for example, you will only hear these things when something tragic or some tragic event in Myersville or in the rural areas. Then you will read about it or hear it and watch it on television. But outside of that, you're not getting the real story about the lives of the people in these areas at all. You're not getting it. And as I can tell you that the people are suffering. Now you heard the council telling us that right now they are having drought in that section of St. Elizabeth, and the farmers don't have any water, right? They don't have any water. And can, Mr. Smith?
612.
Yes. And so if there's no water for the farmers, there's no, you can imagine that there's no water for domestic purposes either, right? The people have to be buying water. And I can tell you that it is costing a lot. So here it is, the people are having difficulty. This is a farming area. Farming is the main source of livelihood, right? And the people down there now, the farmers are having difficulty producing, and therefore their income must fall, and they have to be finding extra money now to buy water. Yes. These are the issues that the voters must present to the members of parliament, or yes, those who are seeking power. What is going to be done? We want some plans, concrete plans, as what you will do to ensure that I have water when you are elected. And the people are going to hold their representatives to their plan. You're not just going to make some empty promises and then we don't hear from you until 5 years' time. No, we are going to hold you to your promise, and we are going to be in your ears, in your face. Yes, because the people want these amenities to improve their lives. Yes, the people want good roads to communicate. They want better educational system for their children. They want to be able to access medical treatment when they are sick. Yes, they want these things. And they are not getting them, right? And therefore, we want them to hold their members of parliament to the fire. Yes. Last year they gave themselves some hefty salary increases, right? And therefore, we expect that their performance will improve now that they are getting higher pay, more pay. We expect them to perform, right? We are going to, coming up next is time for workers' time. Let us go for a break. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleypark Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can you quit me drink and please her. Never gonna tease her. Boom bang. You don't know so rubber dub health tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools, hardware and supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, hardware and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
And vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine for the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end.
Jesus' love is so sweet, yeah. The more I trust him, the more I love him. There's nothing good for me he'll deny. The longer I know him, the better I can show him. I couldn't stop no even if I tried. The more I trust him, the more I love him. There's nothing good for me he'll deny. The longer I know him, the better I can show him. I couldn't stop no even if I tried. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. Yeah. This love is sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, days go by. Oh, man, he saved me. His good grace he gave me. Places left deep down in my heart. Great joy and knowing with him I am growing, and I never offer him to depart. The moment he saved me, his good grace he gave me. Places left deep down in my heart. Great joy and knowing with him I am growing, and I never offer him to depart. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, 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 sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. This love is sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. This love is sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. The more I trust him, the more I love him. There's nothing good for me he'll deny. The longer I know him, the better I could show him. I couldn't stop no even if I tried. The more I trust him, the more I love him. There's nothing good for me he'll deny. The longer I know him, the better I could show him. I couldn't stop no even if I tried. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. This love is sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. Yeah. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the days go by. He gets sweeter, sweeter, sweeter as the moments fly. This love is richer, deeper, fuller, sweeter. This love is richer, sweeter than the days go by. Blessed Savior. Oh, what a friend we have in Jesus. All our sins and grief to bear. Oh, what a privilege to carry.
Yes, it's time for Workers' Time. And we have with us this evening the President of UCASE, yes, Mr. Vincent Morrison, and also not the President, but a senior representative of WIGOT, that's the West Indies Union of University Teachers, Professor just a second there, let me just straighten this. Yes. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, dear listeners.
Yes.
And my brothers on the program, good afternoon.
Yes. We are going to start off with Professor Devanish because I understand that he has limited time. Professor, could you just tell us what is the latest with that the university teachers and that issue that they're having with the management?
Yes. Right, so the core issue is that management wants to change the terms and conditions of service for new members of staff, for academic, senior administrators, and professional staff who get employed up from the 1st of August going forward, 2025 going forward. Currently, we have an arrangement where the university contributes 10% of salary to pension and covers 80% of the premiums for the health scheme. And when you're retired, the university pays the full premium for the health insurance of the retiree. That's the current situation. They want to change that. And what they want to do is that from the 1st of August, new people employed will only get 5% contribution to pension. And when those people, when they retire, get no coverage on their health benefit whatsoever. Now, they put the proposal, but it is a proposal that was not negotiated with the union. They went unilaterally to the university council and got it approved, and then said that they will discuss with us how it would be implemented or something of that sort. The sense of our union, and I should say that there are two other unions on the university campus that don't approve either, but we are the ones who took industrial action. And our position is this, that you can't change the terms and conditions of service for people. When we have negotiated those terms and conditions, has all this covered people working and people to come. This attempt to now change the terms and conditions without negotiation for people to come, we found unacceptable. And the members took the decision to take industrial action.
Yes.
So we had industrial action last week for 3 days, and then that was renewed again today. And that was supposed to have been without end, in the sense of indefinite. We then received an invitation for conciliation of the Ministry of Labor. We met with the management of the day today, and for 2 hours we worked out something. And the ministry really is suggesting that we have an existing grievance procedure, and the ministry is suggesting that we explore using the grievance procedure process, which gives effectively 10 working days for the parties to revisit the matter, and then failing that, our grievance procedure requires we go to the Ministry of Labor, and the ministry has committed to dealing with the matter when it goes back, if it gets back to them, dealing with it with dispatch. And so they then asked us or suggested that in the spirit of trying to get the matter resolved, that they would suggest that we recommend to our members that the industrial action be suspended. And so, based on that, as I speak, the processes of consultation within the union are taking place, and we're going to have a meeting, in probably about half hour, 45 minutes, to kind of sort out our firm and our response to the recommendations of the ministry and so on. So that's where we are right now.
Okay. So as it stands right now, you are at the bargaining table. So it is possible. It is possible that the industrial action will be called off until the matter, in order to give the parties more time to negotiate. That's it.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. But you've summed it up. Yes, that's where we are.
Well, okay. So
So we are talking, but by next week we'll have something much more firm, and we can talk about it. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, we can come here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's quite apparent that there's a clear procedural breach.
by the management of the university. Because although there's the sun comes off that although we don't have something in writing in terms of agreement regarding the issue, the council, the general council actually put those in place, which is nothing wrong with that. The fact of the matter, it was put in place, it was agreed to by the union. The union didn't object to it. So it is quite apparent that there's a procedural breach. And what is being done now, as I understand it, is that the university management is getting the opportunity to correct the breach, so to speak. Not advising and not suggesting, but the point is that at the level of conciliation, for conciliation to make that suggestion, I have a difficulty with that. In other words, you're at the ministry about some breaches. And what should be done, in my view, is that the ministry should be saying to the university, these are clear breaches. You can't go about the thing in this way. So correct the thing. So when you go back to discuss it, I'm not sure it's going to reach anywhere because I figure the university is going to take the same position that they've taken unilaterally.
Yeah. And so we're going to be back there in 10 days' time because of 10 working days' time. I think, though, that, what happens with these things, it may be, and that I only say maybe carefully, that now that the university management is aware that the workers are not going to take the matter lying down, they may be persuaded to be more reasonable at this particular point. This is my hope and expectation.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's what they're possible.
Right. Which I think is what the thinking behind the ministry is. Now that you know that you have a problem, fix it rather than tie up our ties. So I think the conciliation officer kind of use that to say, well, rather than take up all my time, but fellas, just go back and fix it. So I think that's where we are. And so it does open a possibility that management may be more reasonable and that we don't actually have to end up back in the ministry. I think that's the thinking behind the Ministry of Labor anyway.
Of course, we need to play hard. The labor force is that hasn't been the breach. And you know that the labor code, when you breach the labor code, if you go to the tribunal, right? So the labor code is not law. But the tribunal is bound. From once there's a breach, the tribunal is bound to correct it.
Right. Yes.
I would suggest that you go back to the local level.
Yeah, well, I think the university is being nudged and reminded of what you just said. I think all of that came out in the meeting today, and they're being nudged, hinted to, advised that they may need to reconsider their action. Yeah. So I think they'll be given a chance to do that.
I just want to say something. My experience around the country. For example, at cement company, we have an agreement there, and what they want to do is to grandfather almost all the benefits that the workers have been getting. Oh. Meaning, yes, they will continue to give the benefit to who are there, but the new employer coming in, they want to put in new arrangements.
Oh, same game, yes.
And that is not going to happen under my watch. I'll tell you why. The leaders before me, the Michael Manley and those guys, they have fought very hard to get some of these benefits. Right? And we can't as unionists start back and allow them to take away all of this benefit. While in the case of Jamaica, the cement company, they're making super profit. But they're shareholders in Mexico. Huh? Right. These are the issues that you have to examine and to make sure.
Okay.
That you know, we deal with very firmly as union leaders in this country.
Yeah. All right, so Professor, you have to go.
Yes, ma'am. So thanks a lot again, gentlemen, and thanks for both the support and the advice and everything. And you certainly, I'll keep you posted. All right?
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, then, right. Bye-bye. Thanks
All
a
right.
lot again.
Yes.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, Brother Morrison,
yes,
as
sir.
you touch on the cement company that I know that you have an issue out there. How is that coming along? Is things
We
work?
have so many issues out there that we may have to get the added machine to start solving them.
Oh my.
We have the wages that has been going on from last year, about this time last year. We have a matter over profit sharing scheme where the arrangement has been made since 2023, but the management refused to put it in place and is trying to twin it and the present wage and fringe benefit negotiation.
Mm-hmm.
We have a long service award in which we are the IDP, in which this benefit has been placed for years. And they refuse to pay the thing to the employees. Huh? And the employees have cancelled it. So, you know, the problem goes on and down. You know, a lot of people don't know that in terms of patience, we in the trade union movement have been exercising the patience of Job. Huh?
Yes.
I could have closed down the cement company months ago. But I've said to the workers, we are right, we're true. And when you're correct and have your rights, be careful how you use it.
Yes.
Very important.
Mm-hmm. But let me ask a question. They are negotiating though, although they raise objections to these items. But
we are at the Ministry of Labour.
Mm-hmm.
They start negotiating about 2 months ago.
Oh.
They cut off negotiations and refer the thing to the Ministry of Labour about 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear from the ministry, so out of curiosity, I decided to call the ministry.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if the ministry had forgotten that they got a letter from them months ago, but they actually responded maybe 2 weeks after.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
But if we're really talking about growth and productivity in this country, more attention will have to be paid to these issues. You know, in the bauxite and aluminum industry, we have done 4 contracts since 2010. And all 4 of them ended up at the Industrial Dispute Tribunal.
Yes.
And they all took over 3 years to be completed. Over 3 years. The one that we are doing now, for the first time we see a little light at the end of the tunnel that we may be able to settle before without going to the tribunal. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So that contract expires on the 3rd of November this year.
Okay.
So we are 1 year and almost 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So you're talking about the bauxite and aluminum industry. The industry that had the best industrial relations climate in the country. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. So, so the as you said, the negotiations at cement companies drawn out. You said that you have seen a light at the end of the tunnel with the bauxite at the bauxite company.
We may have a resolution.
Yes.
But not going to the tribunal of this time.
Mm-hmm.
And trust.
Yes.
And trust.
Okay. Things have...
But cement is not feeding the ability to pay.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people in Jamaica today in industrial relations and around the country generally don't know that we have in place an official a wage guideline created by the Bank of Jamaica.
Oh.
The Bank of Jamaica is advocating for inflation between 4 and 6%.
Yes.
And what has happened is that management, in the private sector, I can't say the public here. We don't hear from the government in the public sector. But in the private sector, you have companies like Cement, companies like United Management. That's a company that purely aircraft. They are offering 5% and 5%.
Okay.
That company has never offered us 5%. They have never. We have done about 4 negotiations with them over there.
Yes.
And they always put on the table a 10% adjustment for their work. Now, this period, last 2 years or so, they have been doing better than ever before. Right? There are 2 companies that usually do the investing of aircraft at the Norman Airport. Company by the name of John, which was owned by Texas John and some of the marketing companies. That company has closed down. So the work that was between the UMS and JARS is now taken over solely by the UMS. Now, I'm sure you listen to Mr. Bartlett, the tourism minister.
Yes.
And you will understand the number of new airline carriers coming into Jamaica.
Yes, sir.
You will understand the upsurge in the tourism industry. Now, every plane that comes at the Norman Manley Airport is these workers who have to fuel those planes. You're not talking about a lot of workers. You're talking about the most about 20 workers.
Yes.
Doing 3 shifts. And what I've been told is that them can't pay more than 5%. So we have a reversal in terms of the negotiating process in Jamaica. The better the company do, the less they're offering to their workers.
Yes.
And the higher the prices are going up in the supermarket.
Yes, yes, sir.
Higher prices going up in the pharmacy.
Electricity going up.
Yes. Etc.
Yes.
So you understand the frustration.
Yes.
Around.
What is happening to the security industry? There were some issues earlier this year. That has been settled?
Well, I am glad you mentioned that. We have Hawkeye, who've offered 5%. Last week, they changed their position and they were saying that we're not going to do more than a 1-year contract. Now they have offered 7.5% for the second year of the 6.7% for the second year of the contract. But they're still at 5%.
Oh, for year 1.
Yeah. Now, our position is very clear. These guys are not the normal, ordinary security officers. These guys are diplomatic security officers. And our position is simply that they should be paid accordingly.
Yes.
The Hawkeye guys, they work for the British Embassy. They work for the British government. And when you compare the minimum wage in England, when you compare the apprentice rate in England, the Jamaican minimum wage that they want to pay the workers, and nothing near this. Now, I've said publicly that the $1,000 movement from 16 from 15 to 16, given by the Prime Minister. I don't think the Prime Minister really understands what is happening in India. $1,000 adjustment for the workers is $2,000 a day increase. I know you love parties very well. $2,000 cannot buy a party in Jamaica. Sorry, $200 per day.
Yeah.
Adjustment. Cannot buy a party.
No.
Eh?
No.
You see, a party is over $250. Eh?
Yeah. Yes.
And the Prime Minister increased the workers $200 a day. Eh?
Mm.
Yes. And you know that was effective yesterday and today. So my point is that the government has failed the security guard workers. We are in the court over the contract. As you know, they are giving them a contract to sign that all their benefits will be extinguished.
Yes, sir.
And I'm pleased to say that we have won the first round in the court.
Okay.
Because the company wanted to have a separate hearing on all 12 affidavits. The court has ruled that the claims, both the marksman and the guardsman claims, to be consolidated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
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 But what I don't understand, you see, Mr. Morris, is that the High Court, the Supreme Court, made a ruling in 2023 that the security
Justice last ruling.
Yes. That the security guards are workers.
Yes.
Right? No, so that is a court ruling. Yes. So why is it if how is it that the companies see, well, I don't know, but there seems to be breaching that ruling, or there seems to be they don't want to adhere to that rule?
What the company did is give the workers a new contract, and in that contract, they say all their benefits prior to that contract will be extinguished upon signing. That's what the contract says.
Yes.
And that is what we have taken to court. We want the court to rule and the validity of that contract.
Yes.
Yeah.
So therefore people who serve for 20 and 30 years, that I mean,
their service would have gone.
Yeah, okay.
And I tell you what, those workers who refuse to sign have not been allowed to return to their job. Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know if you're aware of this or if this has been dealt with, that those security guards who are back on the job, and for example, some of them were injured during those robberies last year and I think the year before. I understand that security guards who were injured during those robberies, they have not received any benefits.
Well, I know of one person who called me to say that they were getting X amount, and that was reduced.
Okay.
Right? So you know what is the big problem with the security guard right now? A lot of the security guard are up for retirement. Right? There's nothing in place for these workers, you know.
So they are just going to just retire like that without any benefits?
And they're going to send them to the poor. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Just hold it there for me. Let us take a break. This is Rebel Radio. Let us take a break.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can it when me drink and please her. Never gonna tease her. Boom, bang. You don't know, so rubber dub, health, tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools, hardware and supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, hardware and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica rise, we're built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Your JPS and make the shine never end.
God is always there for me, yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So I met this old man, he was so poor, didn't hold no bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, never heard him complain. He said I've proven God again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me, yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, yeah. God is always there for me, yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. The landlord wears the rent, school fee too, partner drop bombs, and the youth them need you. Friends all ask me what I'm gonna do. I smile and tell them that God will see me through. So no matter what the circumstances may be, yeah, God is always there for me, yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me, yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad, God is always there for me. I met this old man, he was so poor, he didn't hold a bed, so we slept on the floor. He's always smiling, I never heard him complain. He said I've proven God again and again. So no matter what the circumstances may be, God is always there for me, yeah. Through the sunshine or through the rain, through the pleasure or through the pain, God is always there for me. No matter what the circumstances may be, no, God is always there for me, yeah. Through the good times or through the bad, through the happy times or through the sad.
Yes, welcome back to Rebel Radio. We are on Workers' Time talking with President of UCASE, Mr. Vincent Morrison. So, Mr. Morrison, the other thing is that we are in the 6th month now, and we have not heard anything further about the tourism workers. We know they took industrial action last year, and there was supposed to be discussion taking place in order to get them unionized. But have you heard anything about that?
Well, what will happen here? What will happen is that the government of the day to the Minister of Tourism had gone in and they had settled some of the contracts, I understand. So that there is a sort of calm that exists now, but if you ask me, I can tell that it won't last long. Because what the workers in the industry want is an organization that will be there on a permanent basis to negotiate terms and conditions and so on for the workers. I've had quite a few calls from some of the workers, but there's no follow through. There's no follow through. When I say follow through, we give them instructions what to do, but they have not responded. So that's why I can take it. But you're always ready when doors are open. Or officers are ready to assist.
Yes, sir. Mr. Morrison, what is your take on suggestion or an idea or suggestions that the union movement in the Caribbean must reassert itself? In other words, they must take a front seat or a higher seat on the political front because of the fact that the union movement is the grandfather of the political movement in the Caribbean. And therefore, the union need to put itself in a position where it can influence policy decisions and the welfare of workers. What is your take on that?
That question is not new. What you have said is something that I know has been in place. I mean, there was no heads of agreement or heads of government conference where the heads of the union leadership, Caribbean Congress of Labour, was not a part of those conferences. I think what has happened over time, you have had new union leadership and you have new leadership in government. And what has happened is that a gap has developed, which is that not just coming as a gap, but coming as permanent feature, where it doesn't matter. The union leadership, the Chamber of Commerce, the manufacturers, and all other organizations participate, but the trade union movement does. So it leads me to the question of consultation. What has happened and the present impact that exists between Mr. Dennis Strong, the Prime Minister, et al., tells you that consultation is dead. And I'm talking about consultation between government and opposition. It's dead. I'm sure in the earlier days, whether it was Mr. Patterson or Mr. Seagas, Portia Simpson Seagas, or Portia Simpson and Bruce Golden, going back as far as to Norman Manley and Bustamante, I am sure that, certain positions of government, certain appointments, there would have been consultation.
Yes.
Yeah, but that no longer exists in Jamaica. Right? The one-man band is a take it or leave it situation. I don't think it's good.
No.
Yes.
No. Not good at all. Well, as you say that in the past the workers were represented at the table.
Yes.
So I think the time is ripe for the workers to fight to get back their seat at the table, and therefore the union movement must make it possible, or do whatever is necessary in order to make that possible.
The union movement must reassert itself.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Because we have to remember, that labor and capital must have a decent relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, in Jamaica, one of the things that I don't see possible right now, I remember during the 80s, the union movement was able to call a national strike.
Yeah.
I don't see that possible in Jamaica right now.
No. You're correct on that.
Yeah.
Because at that time we had a very strong Joint Trade Union Research Development Center,
Yeah.
which emerged or which formed the Confederation of Trade Unions.
Yes.
Yes. Now, with the Confederation of Trade Unions is a shell.
Mm.
Huh? It's a shell.
Yeah. But it is incumbent.
The board and the executive is bigger than the staff. It has no staff.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not doing any work.
But it is incumbent on the union movement to make that organization as strong, to build that organization, Mr. Morrison. It's a union movement failure that,
Yeah. Yeah. I've been calling for a meeting at the trade union in the Caribbean to reform and re-establish the Caribbean Congress of Labour.
Yes.
But I've spoken to our friends in Trinidad, in Guyana. I've heard nothing from them.
Okay. The last time I spoke to to Michael, he told me that he was working on that. He was working on getting he wanted to get a meeting, to organize a meeting. They said he was working on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But
I do wish him well. Right?
Yeah. But as I said, in Jamaica, the weakness in the joint confederation, that is a failure of the union movement, because the union movement must work to strengthen. It is their organization. They can't just, in other words, when a union does step back, or unions does step back and say, make management do it. No, it is their union. It is their organization. So they must work to make it be a sustainable and strong organization.
Of course, the trade union movement is a work organization.
What did you say?
The trade union movement is a workers' organization.
Yes.
It's not a management organization.
No.
Yeah.
So But as you say that, what has happened over the years in Jamaica, because there has been change in the union leadership, because and that has helped to really weaken the union movement, because the leaders are not like the leaders of the past.
That's right.
Right, and you know, it is now like each union is just defending its own turf.
Yeah.
But I think the turf of the union movement is the workers' interest, and therefore they should do whatever is possible to ensure that that is protected.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we are going to see what is going to happen now. As I said, we are in the 6th month now.
I would love to hear from my friends in the Eastern Caribbean, because, for example, the International Labour Organization is headquartered in Trinidad.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of the international, Trading International, ITFC, and those organizations are between Barbados, Antigua, and Trinidad.
Okay.
It reminds me of the West Indies Cricket Board.
Yes.
Yeah? I mean, I get the impression that the Eastern Caribbean has taken away the board.
Okay.
Yeah. And they are making all the decisions. Yeah.
Well.
So, it left to be seen. What's going to happen down the road?
Yes. When we at Rebel Radio, we are trying to do whatever we can to get that to strengthen the organization. We are trying to get the leaders to organize themselves. Well, we'll keep on trying. We'll keep on trying, because we see the workers' interests, that it must be protected. And the workers in the Caribbean, they are facing the similar issues right across the Caribbean. So
I mean, they'll face the problem with what is happening in the United States, where I expect thousands and thousands of Caribbean workers are going to be deported. There ought to be a master plan as to how we're going to deal with these situations.
Yes.
The issue of Venezuela and Guyana over the Berbice land. All of these are big issues.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, let us see how these matters.
We have a number, a multinational company from Jamaica and elsewhere operating in the Caribbean. These are issues that must be the subject of discussion at these meetings.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Morrison, I want to thank you very much for your time. And as we say at Rebel Radio, to be continued, because we have to do whatever we can to protect the interests of the workers. So
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you for having me on. Good afternoon to your listener.
Okay, sir. That's Mr. Vincent Morrison, President of UCASE, there, keeping us abreast of what is happening in the union movement. Well, that is workers' time for this week until next Monday. Let us go for a break now. This is Rebel Radio.
It's the Everybody Sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can when me drink come please never gonna tease her. Bang bang. You don't know so rubber dub health tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools, hardware and supplies is holding up the heat this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, hardware and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica rise, we're built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica. Feel the rhythm, we're on track. Feel it, feel it. Together we climb. JPS Jamaica. Together we shine.
Shine from the ends, shine with your family, shine with your friends. Light up the streets and make the vibes blend. Yo, JPS and make the shine never end.
Look for the chat box on the side or bottom of the video player. This is where you can type your message. Click inside the chat box and use your keyboard to type out what you want to say. You can type words, use emojis, or even ask questions. Once you've typed your message, press the enter key on your keyboard or click the send button. Your comment will then appear in the chat for everyone watching the live stream to see. If you want to send another comment, just type it in the chat box again and press enter or send. Your new comment will show up below your previous one.
Summer of anxiety and distress for many Jamaican students thinking of advancing their education and professional development in the United States. Last year, more than 1 million students from around the world made it into U.S. universities. But frankly speaking, the numbers are expected to be much lower this year as the Trump administration is taking a fresh look at student visas and what's happening on U.S. campuses. We have the U.S. immigration attorney who will talk to us on that and give us an update on immigration matters generally. Also, we are joined by Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of UWI, Dr. Denzel Williams. Then, of course, frankly speaking, this podcast will take on local matters too, including the controversy over the appointment of Dennis Chung as head of the Financial Investigation Division, FID. This is the 169th episode of the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. Regular presenters Desmond Richards and Vinny Anderson Brown are with us today. Thank you, our viewers, for joining us live. We welcome questions and comments on the podcast as illustrated at the top of the program. You may also send by WhatsApp to 876-503-9995. We'll make every effort to hear your comment, question. Remember to subscribe to the Frankly Speaking Jamaica YouTube channel if you haven't done so as yet. It's easy, as is being demonstrated. Welcome to Donald Vernon, attorney who practices immigration law, elder law, and estate planning in New York, and to Professor Denzel Williams, as we said earlier, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you very much, Franklin and team.
Good. Well, we want to start with you, Mr. Vernon, and Desmond is
Yes,
with
sir.
us, and Winnie is. What is happening now with regard to student visas, and what advice would you give to a Jamaican student who is either about to get a visa or just got one and is considering travel to the U.S. to university?
Well, let's deal with some factual information first. Yes, indeed, the Trump administration on May 28th did instruct the State Department to not schedule any further interviews for student visas. And so, as of that,
sorry, but that's
Yes.
it's such an important point. I wanted to say it again. The administration advised their missions not to schedule any more visa
yes.
appointments.
In fact, the language they use is that there is a pause on all further interviews for student visas. But I don't want to I want to bring clarity by further explaining that according to the news and according to the Trump administration, the people who has already secured interviews will not be affected. The only people who will be affected are people who are making new applications for those interviews. Now, of course, one of the issues that cause a lot of pain is that for the new people who needs to make appointments is that they have to pay, first get admitted, go through that process to a college or university here in the United States, and then they have to make a down payment on that tuition before they can schedule an interview. So it is extremely painful for people of, whether or not you have great means or not, it's not fun to lose your money. And it's not fun to turn people's lives upside down. And in fact, if you've been planning to travel to the United States to avail yourself to the excellent education that it provides, and then all of a sudden, without warning, you're told, all the plan and all the investments you've made in making this happen, we're no longer entertaining your request. And so that's what's at work in this moment. There's a particular focus, though, on Chinese students. And the other piece that I need to share with your audience, sir, is that the rationale for making such a drastic action, or taking such a drastic action, is that they want to develop or further develop and expand the vetting process to look into applicants' social media posting. In particular, they're looking for criticism of the Israel-Gaza war, or Israel-Hamas war that is being conducted right now. And so, that's their reason for turning people's lives upside down. And at the end of the day, people just have to scour their social media posts well, let me say it this way. If you have not been engaged in having public commentary around the Israel-Gaza Hamas issue, then, you know, in terms of them looking at your social media posts, you may not have much to worry about. But if you have been talking against U.S. policy, which is the support of Israel in that war, then, you know, that can become a problem. But at the end of the day, there is no more interviews going forward until they put it back online, and they have not given us a timeline when that would happen.
Oh, all right. It sounds a very, well, as you say, it has upended some people's lives. That Professor Williams, are you there? Wanted to ask you how you reflect on that and whether the university is with us, but I think you just yes. Yes, Prof. I just wanted to, I don't know if you heard all of that from Mr.
Yes.
Vernon. Good. So Prof, what's happening at the university? Is there any thinking? Is it too late in the day for you to adjust courses, programs, and reach out to all of those people from all over the place who are confused, who are going to be hesitant, or who have just made up their mind that they're not going to try the US this year? Is it too late? And is there any thinking at the university on that matter?
Well, let me firstly say though, Franklin, that at the UWI, our approach is not to exploit the situation in the United States. That's not our approach at all. And I wouldn't want it to be read in that light that we are just doing what we're doing because the United States has this kind of issue going on. That's not our approach. Our approach is more proactive. We recognize development from way back when in the geopolitical space. But we recognize that importantly, we have a world-class university. We are ranked in the top 5% of the best universities globally by Times Higher Education. And what we are doing at Mona and the rest of the university is to leverage that high ranking that we have as a campus and as a university. So in the top 5% of the best universities globally, we have identified that we now need to leverage that reputation to gain much more in terms of student numbers and those things. And as you know, we have a strategic plan that speaks about the revenue revolution. So in essence, our mantra at UWI is that we're now monetizing our reputation. And so we have developed strategies to seek international students long before January 2020. So we have been in Africa, where we are encouraging recruiters to join us to sell what we have at the UWI. We have been in Asia. We have been in North America, and we are now actually going into Latin America as well. But the strategy we are using, we have enhanced that by actually using now various pathways. So we're looking at different segments of the population that would want to come to a UWI. We're looking at international students who want a space outside of their own country to come and do stuff that their country may not offer, things like reggae studies, cultural studies, stuff like that, right? Cricket studies and those types of things. So that's one segment. But there are also local persons who would travel North America, Western Europe, other places as well. We're saying to them, we have offerings right here at our university at Mona in Jamaica. You can get it for possibly a third of the price that you will have to pay when you go to international and go overseas and stuff. You can come here as well. So that's another segment that we're actually looking at. And then importantly, we're also looking at diaspora persons who say they want to have an interaction with their home country. They want to have an interaction with their motherland, where their parents are from, even to come and do a 6-week course, come and do a summer semester, stuff like that. So the truth is that UWI and the Mona campus especially have been developing this proactive strategy long before January 2020. So we're not trying to just exploit January 20, what is going on in the US, but we are more proactive about how we engage international students. And I want to make a point that it is not as effortless as people may think. And those of us in academia would know this. It's not as effortless as we think, that because something is now going on in the US, tomorrow morning, the students are going to say, since I can't go to the US, I will come to Jamaica, or I'll go to Barbados, I'll go to Trinidad. That's not how academia works, actually. Students don't just go to a university to get a degree. Students go to a university because of the ecosystem that is around the university as well. So when you travel to North America, for example, or Western Europe, you will recognize that the students who gravitate towards those places, when they complete their degree, they may have the opportunity to get a visa to stay in those countries and live. They may have the opportunity to work on some of the largest multinational corporations before they head back home. So when they head back home to their country of origin, the truth is that that prestige that they have gained from studying overseas will now translate into them getting much more recognition and opportunities within their place of origin as well. So the truth be told, it is not just that the students are going to say, this is happening in the US, I come to Jamaica. When they're finished and when they come to Jamaica and they say, I'm going to do an MBA at the Mona School, for example, or am I going to do a degree in economics? When they're finished in Jamaica, where are they going to actually get a job within the ecosystem to enhance their reputation before they go back home? That's part of the issue that they have to face as well. So what we have recognized is that we also have to find niche areas at the UWI, which can help them now to gain a degree or something that can be of greater value. So for example, Jamaican culture is a major asset in the global sphere of cultural development, etc. So we are looking at areas like those where we can say, use cultural studies as one of those areas that you're drawing people to. When they study cultural studies in Jamaica and they go to Bob Marley Museum, Peter Tosh, and those places, these are live things that they're seeing. When they go to Pinnacle to see Rastafari and stuff, these are no live things that they can bring back home. Similarly, medicine. We have, as you know, tropical medicine is a major area of medicine as well. That is growing. Not very many places in the world that doctors are looking at issues to do with tropical diseases and stuff like that. If they come to our campus here at Mona or any other University of West Indies campuses, and they study medicine and understand the whole issues around tropical disease, around nutraceuticals, etc. No, that provides them with a lot more value added than if they were to stay in London or to stay in New York or to stay in Toronto to try and study tropical medicine.
Well, how you get a chance to sell that message, bro? How do you get a chance to sell that message, to put that message to them wherever they are?
But that's what we're doing, and that's the point I'm making. So that's how UWI has designed this strategy, and that is the strategy now that we're rolling out. So that's the strategy we're rolling out now to say to you, come to us because we have these special areas that are value added that you can benefit from. Not so much come to us because the US is having a problem.
Okay, beautiful.
So that's really what the difference I wanted to point out.
One of the issues that I think academia should be concerned about is the fact that Trump and his supporters are trying to choke freedom of expression. Here it is that they have decided to discriminate against students who speak out against the atrocities taking place in Gaza. Now, as far as I know, that is freedom of expression. And therefore, is there a way where universities can work together to fight back against that attitude? So is it possible that universities then should be coming together, joining UWI, Caribbean, UWI and other local universities, joining ranks with their international partners to fight against the Trump administration attempt to choke freedom of expression? Is that something that universities could look at?
Well, I'm not.
Professor? Yes. Go ahead.
Yes, I'm not. I'm not using the language of a kind of a fight back kind of issue. Universities are here to be much more balanced, and what we have to do is to make all views contend. Because some people will be pro something and some people will be anti something. The university space is that space where all ideas must contend. So it is not a fight back that we're trying to do at universities. What we're trying to do is to create balance in terms of regional, global discourse on issues. And so we don't want it to be seen as an antagonistic thing that the university is taking on to say we're fighting back. What the university ought to do is to bring to the fore the various issues that are now contending, because one side says this is what they want to do, another side says this is what they want to do. The university must be in the center that pulls everything together.
On that point,
Go ahead,
Professor,
Mr.
I think the point that's being made is that, in fact, there is something for universities to fight for in this instant, because it is the right to speak to the various side. And what this administration is trying to say is the side that doesn't line up with my agenda is not allowed to speak. And so we're talking about defending free speech. We're talking about defending First Amendment rights. And so if universities stay out of this fight, we're going to lose that fight and you won't have free speech. You won't have both sides of the story. So I would encourage you to speak to your colleagues about, in this instant, universities are one of the safeguards and one of the guardrails, should I say, for democracy. And if you are silenced, and if your students are silenced, we will lose the democracy. And as you know, Professor, as an insular group, the only protection we have is democracy. And so we're at risk by being quiet.
Mr. Vernon, I'm going to ask you something before. I don't know if Professor wants to respond.
And hold on there, Franklin. Professor, at the University of the West Indies, what is the University of the West Indies doing to promote discussion on the genocide that is taking place in Gaza? I can remember as a student, back in the earlier days at the university, I would find that, for example, there would be forums at the university dealing with these. The lecturers were more active. Nowadays, I find that even the university students, they are not talking about these world affairs where human beings are being slaughtered in front of us. And yes, we students, we are studying, but remember, university is a high institution of the universities are not just ordinary schools. Universities are centers of thought.
Give Prof a chance to respond there, because I also want to go back to something Mr. Vernon said.
Okay, so let me start with the back end, because with the last observation by Desmond, because Desmond, if you look at what the university is doing, I speak specifically at our university here in Jamaica, our campus here in Jamaica. The truth is that you will be very surprised to see the number of activities that the university is carrying out along these lines. We have vice chancellor fora on these issues very regularly. Departments have their own fora, their own curriculum, curricula on these kinds of issues. These things are widespread. The truth is that I don't think that everybody would think that their time when they were there, this is the best time ever. But the truth is that things have evolved, and people approach these things in different ways as they have evolved. The university is participating in the general discourse on these kinds of issues. We have fora, we have all kinds of things. We have vice chancellor forum, we have conferences, we have seminars, we have symposia, all about these kinds of issues, whether it be Gaza, whether it be Rwanda, whether it be climate crisis, all of these things. The university is extremely activist. So if you just take a moment to look at our annual report and see the kinds of things that we're doing, you get a better sense of how activist the university is in terms of these kinds of things that we're championing.
I think the public needs to be more aware of these things, though. I am not certain that these activities that you are talking about, the public is aware of them.
Well, everything is open to the public. We have UWI TV, for example, which is a major media partner which carry these things. The things are open. You can go on our social media pages, our Facebook Live. Most times they're on live on Facebook. You can go in. All of these things are there. The real question that we have to ask ourselves. See, you have one here, for example, the Grab for Gaza, Vice Chancellor's for. All of these things are there. The question that really needs to be asked, whether or not the society as a whole is genuinely interested in these issues these days. That is a bigger question that we have to answer, because the university will be there as the supply side and be supplying these things. But is there a demand for it in society? That's the question that we now have to answer. Has society now gone to a place where it becomes so individualistic that nobody cares about big issues anymore? Everybody's caring about bread and butter issue. How am I going to get the next meal on my table tomorrow? These are real questions, Desmond, that we have to ask ourselves as a society as well, whether or not we have a demand side for the things that the university is pushing. As it relates to what Vernon said, that we're fighting for something. That's the point I'm making, though. And when you're trying to do these kinds of things, you don't want it to be seen as a confrontation, because the truth is that where we are now in the world, where the world is at a place, I don't know if you recognize it, but the world is at a place where confrontation is not the best way to solve issues. The world is at a place where discussion and dialogue solve issues. It is not like 40, 50 years ago when once you disagree, you go on the streets, so you bring placards and you say you get your way. And things, things can remain. So people are saying, hold on, that methodology was there before. It hasn't really delivered results. So how do we go forward? Dialogue, conversation.
Professor,
and the point
Hold on,
is
Desmond. Let him finish, because I want to come back to visa issue with Mr. Vernon. Not
yes,
that
so
you
I want to quickly wrap up, frankly, to say that universities, Vernon, are there to now actually facilitate and push that kind of dialogue. That's really what I want to land on.
Okay. But Mr. Vernon, I want to come back to something you suggested and Desmond was suggested. I'm coming out of Desmond's questioning.
Yeah.
I was just speaking with somebody in the States today, a supporter of the of President Trump, and she was saying, tell the students, come to the US, go to their classes, do related university activities, get their fantastic degrees or whatever, and go home and do what they're doing. Don't want to come and get involved in world of in the protests that might be going on. You just keep a narrow vision, do your work, do your stuff, and like you have said, if they haven't done any Gaza problems, they may not get any Gaza communication. What's your point on that now, in the context of what you were saying?
Well, my point on that is that universities is there to build the total human being.
Not hearing you so well.
Yes, my point is universities' mission aren't just to educate, but it's to build leaders and to build the entire human being, right? So if you just go and focus, go to your classes, go back to your dorm, and don't, get involved in extracurricular activity, get involved in clubs, get involved with lectures, get involved with things that are outside of the scope of the narrow education, you will come out a machine. And our world don't need machines. We need leaders. We need leaders that are going to be moral and have a moral standing and have a moral compass. And so when we talk about just go to school, learn your lesson, shut your mouth, don't be concerned about moral injustice that are existing around you. You
in
are
other people's country. In other people's country.
Well,
Franklin.
Listen, justice, morality, it has no borders, sir. And so it is not possible to invite me to your country because there was an application and there was an acceptance of that application, and then you're going to say no. But when you come, you're not allowed to develop yourself into a total, human being. You're only allowed to do this part. Well, if that is going to be the position of the State Department, then you're going to find that American universities will go out of business sooner than you believe.
And the other thing, the other thing that we must understand, we are talking about human beings. So I don't want to hear any argument about country. If you are in Europe, if you are in China, if you are in Lebanon, if you are in Africa, it's human beings over there. People with blood, people with heart. So when you see human beings are being killed, you can't remain silent. And as I made the point earlier on, universities are not high schools, Universities are not centers that are made to just provide people with degrees. When you go to a university, you must emerge as a leader, a job provider, someone who has access higher learning. You are not an ordinary thinker. That is who a university student ought to be.
All right, Winnie,
if I could just make one point,
coming in, Winnie. Mr. Vernon, just go ahead and move on because I want to get back to Pro.
Yeah, one of the points that need to be made here is that this is really not about Israel or Gaza. This is about the Trump administration really moving forward with attacking the guardrails to democracy. The universities and colleges of the United States has traditionally been one of the primary guardrails again, for democracy. And so in an attempt to transform the form of government that we enjoy here in the United States, there is a need to start the process of going after the main source where opposition will give birth, and that is the university and the young people in this country. He's also gone after the media. He's also gone after law firms that represent people he perceives to be his enemy. And so I don't see this, I see the whole issue around, can people speak their mind politically about what's going on in Gaza, what's going on in other parts of the world, as a ruse. The real issue here is that Harvard is being attacked because it's the #1 university in the United States in terms of history, in terms of wealth. And if you're able to defeat Harvard, you then will intimidate.
You have the other pins.
The
You have
rest
the other
of the
pins lined
university.
up. All right.
Yes,
I want to
and they will then bend the knee, and with that bending of the knee, they will suppress the students that are in their care.
All right. Professor, I wanted to ask you. You expressed a concern that you didn't want it to seem that the UN is wanting to exploit the situation with facing universities in the U.S. now, and that this is a program that you have been on a particular program already. But if this gap is going to exist in the I want to call it market, but the student needs, and if the EU can use this as an opportunity, don't you see that is a great avenue to go down? And can you also give us a sense of how many of your students now are international students?
Well, we have about maybe 2-3% of our population now as when you say international, though, we're taking extra regional.
Yes, that's right.
I figure that's what you're talking about. Yeah, maybe about 1-2% are extra regional. And what we're trying to do, as I said, our strategic plan was clear that we need to grow that to roughly about 10% over the next 5 years to 2028 or thereabout, I think, 2027, 2028. So we are moving towards.
This is an opportunity for you, Prof.
No, what I'm saying, I don't like the construct, Franklin, of us pretending that we're exploiting the US situation, because that's not what the university is here to do at all. So when we say it's an opportunity for us, it speaks very, what I would say, kind of individualistic, to say something bad goes on there, take it up. That's not what the university is about at all. Yeah, and I don't want to give that impression that UE is in this because it's an opportunity for you. No, that's not how the higher education market works at all. As I think somebody said earlier, we're an ecosystem, and within the ecosystem, we look where our niches, where there are things that we can do differently from others, and we work together. Because higher ed is indeed one industry. It's not just about money making. It's about the holistic development of human beings, and we don't want to see it as a kind of a capitalist accumulation of wealth kind of thinking. And so when we say, oh, there's great opportunities there for UWI, it gives the notion of this kind of wealth accumulation through the capitalist means of production. That's not what universities are there for at all. Universities are there to develop the total human being to become citizens who carry on the role of social justice, who making sure that humanity can exist and we can coexist with differences and stuff like that. We do that not because we're going to make a profit. We are doing that because it is a good thing to advance development, to advance the population. So it is not just an opportunity that UE is looking. UE is saying, while there are crises, out of crisis, you can make good. And we're saying there are great things that can happen with our students who are looking at, other places to study. If you face this challenge right now, you can come here. But it is not, it would not be the greatest thing for Jamaica to train all Jamaican students. That doesn't make a university great. So we wouldn't want to have Jamaica, University of the West Indies, training only Jamaican students. We want students from other places as well to cross-fertilize. And it's the very same thing in the United States. We want our students to go to the United States, to go to Canada, to go to other places, and we cross-fertilize knowledge creation. We build networks, we build research collaboration and stuff, and then they come back and we benefit from it. So I don't want us to see the university thing in this kind of a us or them approach, because universities don't operate like that at all. We really need to be a part of a broader ecosystem. So we want our students to go, we want the students to come, and we want to cross-fertilize the knowledge creation process.
Mr. Vernon, thanks, bro. Mr. Vernon, so can you tell me now, what's your prescription? What would you be telling a young Jamaican student who really is looking forward to going to do the studies in the US? They've got a visa, as they come through. Give us an understanding there.
And Franklin, before ask Mr. Vernon too, because I understand that there were some students who were afraid to travel. I'm talking about Jamaican and other students, but Jamaican students studying in the United States. They were afraid to travel for holidays because they were not certain about their immigration status.
Okay, so I'll take the first one. Yes, I'll take the first one first. My take on it is that we're currently living in a political environment that stifles free speech, that diminish your ability to express yourself, to live in a moral space, to call or to speak truth to power. And, as a former student government president, I truly believe that, your education and your development.
Mr. Vernon, I don't want to interrupt you, but I feel impelled to. Look.
Yes.
I watch a lot of US television and follow a lot of US media. And I don't see any diminution in their ability to criticize, to take on the administration.
No, but I'll say this,
impediment. Right? I don't see that, Mr. Vernon. So is it fair for you to say that?
Well, the reason you do see it, you just may not recognize it. And so the way that the Trump administration is going about stifling free speech is not by.
Oh my! What has happened to Mr. Vernon there? We lost him there for a second. I hope we'll get him back very soon. And we lost Winnie. Because we are hoping to get him back. But Desmond, as we try to get him back, you were mentioning that matter of some Jamaican students. Are you saying that? Because what I heard is that there are some Jamaican students who are already in college in the US who are supposed to have finished their program. They finish a year or 2 years in the program. They'll normally be coming down for holidays, but there's doubt as to whether they will be allowed back into the States based upon all of the immigration and visa issues. Is that what you're saying, Desmond? Or tell us what you say.
Yes, that is what I was saying. That I have some reports like that, where Jamaican students who were studying in the United States were reluctant to come back for holidays because they were not certain about based on what is happening with the immigration situation.
Yes.
So I don't know if that still exists or that has been cleared up. I don't know.
Okay. We're still trying to get Mr. Burr. Thanks, Desmond. Prof, we have about 4 or 5 minutes for the segment. I wanted to ask you, what is the, because again, when I'm thinking about students, and I know and I buy it and I get what you have said about the opportunistic capitalistic model that I'm suggesting or context that I'm suggesting and so on. But what is the state of the university now with regard to its finances? Winnie is not with us. I see a comment from Mr. Allen. I see a comment from Marshall E. White. But Winnie hopefully will take them across. But yes, bro, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You didn't finish the point, Franklin. You were saying?
Yes. What is the state of the finances of the university, and what's the immediate prospects of additional programs for revenue generation?
Okay. So, I mean, everybody knows by now that the university as a whole, you know, generally on the operation side, we always do fairly well. Not fairly well, we always done very well. So if you look at if you take up our financial statements, for example, I don't want to get too deep into this, but take up our financial statements. Consistently, the university runs a surplus on its operation, consistently. So just give you an example, over the last 6 years, for example, the Mona campus now, using that as an example, would have run an accumulated surplus on operations now of 10 billion Jamaican dollars, which is about 60 million US, over the last 6 years. We've always, so we manage our affairs in such a way that whatever revenue we get in, we can actually take care of our operational needs. The big challenge comes in when we look at our post-employment benefits, which is a huge liability on our
sorry, say that again. When you look at what? I missed that.
Post-employment benefits.
Okay.
That's the major drag on our financial performance, because we have some extremely generous benefits that are unfunded. And these benefits, because they're unfunded, what happens is that each time that we do our financial statements, etc., the actuaries and the auditors ask us to make provisions for them. And because you have to put provision for these things, then they make a drag on your financial performance. So, an example that I just gave you.
But there are benefits won already. There are benefits to people. Benefits won already.
Repeat that.
There are benefits won already.
Yes. They're there already. So post-employment benefits, yeah. Okay. But when you look at it, as I said before, we have roughly about 60 million US that we would have accumulated over the last 6 years in terms of operating surplus. But by the time you get below that line and start accounting for post-employment benefits, you're amassing a major loss of roughly about 70 million US, because the post-employment benefits accumulation over that period wipes out the entire 60 million US that you would have gained.
So the reason I pointed out that there are already benefits won is what you're going to be able to do about it, because you can't take those benefits back. So
no, you can
and lecturers are planning to strike tomorrow.
And lecturers planning to strike tomorrow, as Desmond
said.
But
you can restructure. No. We have to be careful. We don't want to go back into those, again, antagonistic mode about strikes and so. Strikes not going to help you, because you can strike for something, and if there is nothing to pay you, you can't be paid. So if you strike tomorrow, and it's unfortunate that we can't get the kind of revenue to pay you, what is the purpose of the strike? What's the purpose of the strike? So you're striking for something that you will never be able to gain. Because if we shut down the university tomorrow, then the truth is that we just don't have the money to liquidate it. And as a result of that, what are you going to do? So that's not the solution. The solution is not a strike. The solution is to have a conversation about how you can restructure what it is that you have, that it can give you a greater autonomy over the management of those resources, so that you can actually manage them in a judicious way in order to now generate greater revenue. So, for example, you can find an asset that is generating income to now use that to back the liability, and then you say, okay, if the liability is backed by this asset, get the asset to work for us. These are different ways of dealing with these things. So when your actuaries come in and say you have an asset of $6 billion, this $6 billion can generate 10% over the next 50 years for you. The value of the liability automatically goes down. So this is not about demonstration and carry on again to make noise. It's about sober discussion, understand the technicalities of what you're doing, have a sober discussion about it. If you're serious about ensuring
I hope the lecturers will buy that argument.
Right? So it is about understanding the technical nature of what you're doing. Because it will be good if you have a grandfather who could say, okay, you have a liability, I'm writing you a check, and your problem is solved.
Endowment.
Exactly. You don't have that. You don't have that. So because you don't have that, you have to know things strategically about how you position yourself. So that's one part of it, Franklin and colleagues. The other part, as you talk about now, is to generate more revenue. Because the truth is that when you look at our financial performance over the last 10 years or so, the issue is not so much, about cost overrun. Because since, for example, the last 6 years, when you look at our cost line, we have literally increased our cost line by roughly about 2%, even though inflation is running at 5, 6, 7, 8%. The major increase that you saw this year, I used the last financial year as a case in point. We had a 9% increase in cost and a 13% increase in revenue. The 9% increase in cost, about 6 or 7% of that related to one item, which is a 15% increase in government in the salaries of the staff. Take out the salary increase, our cost would have been flat. Take out the salary increase,
but you can't take out the salary increase, Prof.
No, that's what I'm saying. But what I'm saying,
I know, but
if you take out that cost, if you take out that cost, your cost of operation would have been completely flat. So the issue for us is to generate more revenue. That's the issue. And I'm building up to where you ask the question, because so the issue for us is not so much about cost cutting, while we have to deal with that on the post-employment benefit side, because those are the costs that have gone up significantly. The issue for us is to generate revenue to manage those things. And so we're putting a number of things in place. So we have a global health program, and I just explained to you why global health is important, because of the uniqueness that UWI would have in terms of things like tropical medicine, nutraceutical, and all those kinds of things that we can actually leverage. So we're building a global health program, and we're going to be attracting students into not just MBBS and nursing, but we're looking at things like speech therapy. We're looking at things like radiography. We're looking at all of those kinds of things that are going to generate revenue for us. So that's supposed to be a big revenue earner for us. We're also looking, those of you who have been following these things, you realize on Thursday evening, we launched something called UE Star. What UE Star is doing, and this is going to be a big game changer in the marketplace. UE Star is now that arm of UWI that is going to credential the market, that you don't if you don't really need a degree per se, but you want to upskill, you want a short course, you want all those things. UE Star is that medium that is going to deal with that for you. Again, that's a major revenue earner. So again, people now can't say that the UE is not meeting their needs, because anything that you want to do, you don't have to have the degree, you don't have to have the CXCs and the GCEs and stuff to come to UE Star. Say to us that you want to upskill yourself. These are the things you want.
We're going to invite you back to talk about UE Star, because it seems to be a departure of the university from what people consider its staid position on some issues. Let's just say that on some issues. So you're saying that people.
It's the issue, because we have to be creative about how we earn the revenue, because we realize the revenue problem that we have. Yeah. So we have to do those kinds of things. So these, and there are a number of other things that we're doing, as you would have also heard recently.
We're going to invite you back once you are as kind as you were today in coming forward.
Yes, because I would love to talk about the revenue generation that we're doing at the UWI to deal with those things. And we have a lot of new programs, new courses, and all those things coming on stream. And they're all there. We just will be launching a school, as you know, in September, of the School of Health and Rehabilitative Science. And that school is to help a lot of the kids who are now on the spectrum and also who need screening to get into improve their reading ability and all those kinds of things. We're going to train people to train them. So, for example, in Jamaica, we have about 8 speech pathologists. Only 8. And most of them can't.
That is a big need, Prof. I can tell you, I have a little touch with the school system. That is a big need.
Yes.
Prof, before you go, Prof, I know some people. I am working with some people who want to put on a forum about the Gaza situation and they would like if the university would facilitate that.
Yes, man. Anytime, just come to us. And as I said, we're a public university,
So,
and
yes.
all debates must contend. So we're happy for that.
So if we go to university, it will be facilitated, right?
Yes, man, for sure.
Okay.
As the producer
All right.
just put up a while ago, the Vice Chancellor has a forum called the Vice Chancellor's Forum, which is not only specific to Mona, but goes across the entire university system. So you could easily incorporate in the Vice Chancellor's Forum, for example.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you, Professor.
All right. So Franklin, we will talk more for sure. Yes.
Thank you, Prof. Thanks a lot. As Professor.
Yes, and thanks to everyone. Yes.
Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University and Principal. I nearly said President and Principal of the University. Thank you very much. Winnie has not been able to pick up.
Thank you so much.
Winnie has not been able to pick up on your comments. I see a lot of comments coming in, but we're going to make Desmond turn very quickly, Desmond, to the matter of the row brewing since last week over the appointment of Dennis Chung as principal technical director of the FID, Financial Investigation Division. Desmond.
Well, one of the things that the authorities need to explain is why the qualification requirements were changed. When the ad for the head of the FID was first announced, one of the requirements was that the applicant must have 12 years experience in law enforcement.
And about 5 of those was the senior.
Yes.
At the senior level.
No,
yes.
That was changed. Now the authorities should explain to us why that was changed. Because what we know, the FID is an organization that was established to investigate financial crimes, right? And therefore, Dennis publicly defended the Prime Minister and criticized and objected to the Integrity Commission report on the Prime Minister. And we know that the Prime Minister report has been submitted to the FID. And so far, Dennis, whose views supports the government, his views supports the government. And for him to be appointed to that position, the question is he going to be, how is he going to treat with the Prime Minister report? And therefore, the question out there is whether or not Dennis was chosen as someone who will not deal with the Prime Minister's report to the FID. And that is the issue that the government must explain to us, right? You see.
All right, coming back into it. There's some questions coming in, some comments coming in, and I see Referee Ward is saying the writing is on the wall. I see. Help me with those numbers. Winnie, can you take forward? Let's just take some of these now.
Yes.
Winnie. Okay, somebody's saying, but this is not his Mary. Was saying this is not the region of Gaza. That's not me. That's Richards. Winnie, are you hearing? Can you take the comments now? Just to put some up for you. Winnie's having a hard time. Desmond, one of the points you made there is interesting to me. Do we need to have somebody who is not a political supporter in this office? Clearly not a political, demonstrated as not a political supporter. Or can we have justice from somebody who, as indicated in speech before, as Dennis has said, indicated in his comments on the matter of the Prime Minister's financial business. Can we have justice from somebody like that? Desmond?
I don't know. Dennis, in his public utterances or is in support of the government, right? And for him to deal with this report and from the Prime Minister, which is a very serious report. The FID
and I must just say it's one of the most pressing thing anybody turning up to work, as he is on June 2nd, should have to do. Most pressing, very important to Jamaica.
Yes, and therefore I don't know. That is the big question over Dennis' head right now, and the authorities need to explain. You see, one of the things that we must, the Integrity Commission, institutions like the Integrity Commission, the FID, we need them. We are not saying people don't have their political support, or their political feelings. We are not saying that they don't have them, and they should have them either. But we are saying that we need independent thinking people to head these organizations. And therefore, to put Dennis Chung there at FID is a big question. And we don't think, well, I don't think that he's the right person for that job right now.
And right person for that job, meaning his political views or his qualifications. Because his qualifications for the job as is now, was advertised, is fine. His qualifications are fine. Once they took out that matter,
well,
what he applied for.
Okay, that's the end of today's show. Thanks to all my listeners and viewers. Thanks very much for taking time out to be with us. Yes, we did not have an accident-free weekend. No, not at all. We did not. We had fatalities on our roads. Drivers, pedestrians, riders. Remember, save your life and save the lives of others. Take it easy. And remember to do whatever you can to keep away from the gunmen. Yes, they're on the rampage. Thanks to my technical operator, Kevin. And until Wednesday, we will be having a new program at 5, Eyes on the World. Yes, this is a program that is going to keep you informed on what is happening on the international stage with focus on the Middle East and Africa. Until then, I am Desmond Richards. This is Rebel Radio.
Everybody sale at New Budget Supplies. Do-it-yourself professionals and contractors. This is the sale for you. Lumber, steel, dress and form ply, water tanks, pumps, PVC pipes and fittings, toilets, bathtubs, vanities and basins, windows, paint, doors, floor and wall tiles, thin sets and grout. Up to 20% off selected items. 195 Hagleyburg Road. Telephone 923-4560. New Budget Supplies. Always the best prices.
Madam ain't can when me drink come please her. Never gonna tease her. Boom bang. You don't know it's a rubber dub health tonic wine, the finest wine. So all of the man them wanna tune into the wine here, you know. You say if you don't want to go long and strong, you just tune into rubber dub.
Tools Tools, hardware and supplies is holding up big week this summer with their super saving summer sale. Prices are slashed on everything you need to fix up your home. Beautiful tiles, sleek doors, top quality windows, modern sanitary ware, exclusive flooring and more. At Tools, hardware and supplies, we have you covered for the summer.
So come visit us at 279 Spanish Town Road, 4 South Camp Road, 8 Red Hills Road,
or online at toolsja.com.
Tools!
The Lion King of Hardware.
Oh, Jamaica rise, we're built with fire, passion and vibes, and through it all there's a glow inside. Let's keep our shine alive.
From the market to the factory floors, from the hillside green to golden shores.
We're rich in kind, so energy that lights the sky. Shine bright, Jamaica. Shine bright, Jamaica.